Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question. Sandy's on with us. Good morning, Sandy.
Well, my question is, this is my second time to replant some American larches. I planted 8 of them earlier this spring. I had to replant because last fall, the deer during rutting season just wiped them out, just broke branches off terribly. So I replanted them, and I want to put up a physical barrier because I think that's what I'm going to have to do. But my question is, do you think it would be better, and if you've had people who've had experience putting up physical barriers, do they put physical barriers around each particular tree, or do they do it for the length, like encompassing all of the trees? Any thoughts?
Okay, I do have thoughts. Now, when you speak of in line, you have planted them in a row, is that correct?
Correct. Two different rows.
But it doesn't make a whole lot of difference either way, whether they're in what I'll call a clumped area or a given bed, or in a line. You need to protect each plant. Now, if they're close enough together, you can put called a unit fence around the whole thing, and then if they are separated by area space-wise that you don't want to have to, so that you can mow between them and so on, then you have to go to guarding each plant. Deer are very thrifty and find what they like and then find a way to get to it. So telling you that is only that if you're going to do each individual plant, use a very, significantly stiff wire and stay out, or make a circle big enough, I should say, to keep the deer up to 18 inches away. So you're looking at a 3-foot circle that has a tree in it that is caged. Now, as they get bigger, then you can go to wrapping each one. You can dispose of the big wire, for that matter, or if you choose to, and go to just wrapping the individual trunks. And do that darn soon. As you may have experienced last year, I think it would be about now that they'll start getting in. Well, they're in the velvet and they've moved on, and there's a couple theories on what a deer is doing, but they will rub a tree to get the velvet off. They also apparently are finding out where the tines are, so when they go into a fight, they know, so to speak, heads up what is above their eyebrows. So guard each plant per se, but you can do it individually or as a group. Now, having experienced this over a period of time, you must go with something that will touch them so that they can't reach through or feel like they're going to be trapped and so on. They can stand and eat to about 6.5 or more feet, so they can reach over a short fence. So you need to get that, because on young trees, they can be damaged by browsing or the rutting and rubbing. So, I don't know. Well, a couple thoughts that I'm not going to express on air, I guess. But
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, be on guard. Be on guard. The rascals got into my yard 2 weeks ago and chewed. These plants were in behind a 42-inch fence and away from the fence. They still reached over and took my sunflowers right down to fence height. So I'm familiar with the problem, the grief, and so on. And the only sure way, and this is an absolute, is to go 8 feet high all the way around and stay out so they can't reach through it with their tines or can't stand tall enough to browse. And it takes 8 feet to stop a deer from coming over the top.
Okay.
This sounds remarkable, but it is the case. And, bear with it, because they're still going to get some foliage and so on, second and third year on your trees, to come out through the fence. But that is going to be browse, and it probably won't be enough to be a troublesome thing.
Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Hauer and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
Circle270media.com